Lesley.
So Jordan, just finding consistency within your defense, how difficult is that? I mean, you guys, times have been very good, but obviously the first half you weren't pleased with the outcome. So just developing consistency on defense, how tough is that?
I mean, I think when you look at it, when you look at consistency, I think it's more of a maturity issue. No matter who you play, what time you play, when you play them, if if you have a mature approach, then you usually don't have things show up. So, at this level, when you have that inconsistency, I think it shows a little bit of immaturity, and then we got to grow up.
Is the challenge this week with these guys? I'm looking here. All of their runners are 215 or above, and including the quarterback who's 221. Are you seeing something where they're pounding you, and then hitting you with something because you wear down, somebody misses a gap? What are you seeing in their run game that makes them so formidable?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's with guys that are big and powerful like that. The scheme really helps that look a little more. I don't say think powerful is the word, but so they run you and then they try to get vertical off certain reads, and so that's just really more momentum than how the play develops. But yeah, they're that's why they're top rushing offense. I think 240, right around 250 a game. So yeah, that's a challenge. You got to try to keep that momentum from getting going. A couple ways you do that. I mean, that's in the scheme, but I mean, they're good at what they do, and they do it a lot. They really run. They don't run that many plays, and so when you see somebody do that, that means they're good at what they do. They stick with it, and they try to pound you and play a lot of. When you play a lot of, look at their fourth down percentages. That's pretty high because when you're playing a lot of third, 3, 2, 1, that means that first and second down, they're getting you in that situation, which is extremely tough. So
When you watch them on tape, is their most successful passing been off play action pass off the run game?
yeah, mostly.
Can you take me through their formations, their pre-snap stuff, and how they try to get you kind of like with their misdirection and
Yeah, lot of misdirection, a lot of moving pieces. They're going to get you. They're going to try to formation and really come back to the same play sets or same 3 or 4 plays that they like to run. It's dressed up in a number of different ways, and most and a lot of people do that to us. To try to get our eyes. Try to get your eyes confused on what you're looking at, and it's more than anything, it's repetition.
Jordan, you talked about Taj Austin before, but in terms of his progress, I mean, because he hasn't played that much D1 football, do you see even growth at this point? And what's his ultimate? How much further can he go?
No, I mean he can go as far as he wants to, and yeah, there's tremendous growth. And I think the thing with Taj that separates him, not only guys here, but from a lot of guys at this level, that Taj is really, really hungry. Like Taj, it really bothers him that he lost a lot of time in his career, and a key time in his career, and coming out from a transfer situation. And that bothers him. It motivates him. I guess bothers him, not the right word, but motivates him. And you can tell that in everything he does. And then the difference from when we got here to where he is now. And I remember last summer the day he got hurt, and I've been around some kids that have had some injuries, and it's tough, and they can go into a really bad spot at that point in their career because for whatever reason, what they want their future to be. And I was there that day, and Taj didn't blink an eye. He's like, "Coach, I'll be back." And so, that says a lot about him.
Dante they stack together 2 good games back to back. What's changed?
Effort.
Pretty simple.
Pretty simple.
Is there any sort of an added challenge trying to force turnovers against a team like Baylor that you know is probably going to maybe throw 25 passes or so in the game?
Yeah, I mean, they don't give you that. That's a tough opportunity to come across. You know, they don't. When the passes they do throw, you know, they're high percentage type of throws for them. And then, you know, it's when you know, if you get a little greedy and you try to take that away, that's when they throw it 70 yards over your head. So not a lot of those opportunities. We've got to be really good at the point of contact in the run game to be able to do that, and then trying to get after the quarterback when we do have opportunities in the pocket. You know, trying to affect the ball in that way. So yes, it is a challenge.
I guess the first couple games you've been chasing depth on defense. You have a week after this to work on it. Are you getting better there? Are you getting to the point where you're getting more comfortable?
I think we're getting better. You know, I mean, I think there's not that many plays. You know, we've got to find some plays for some guys. But I mean, if I look at I'll use Dante for an example. I look at his last 2 games. I mean, you know, Dante in 2019 played 76 plays against Kansas State in a win. You know, so you know, right around in the mid 50s. Now, where we're going and the weather and the temperature, that obviously plays into it too. But yeah, I mean, you look at, you know, again, Sean Martin's a redshirt freshman. You know, you start to look at Jordan Jefferson's still a young player, and they're still in what I would consider a developmental phase, and they have to, you know, the good defenses, they get better as the year goes on, and that's a part of it. And you start trying to find those 10 or 15 reps you need in a game. But you know, it's really, you know, at this point, it's not that many. I don't think. So that we need to find. You know, I think we just. And I know that's a point everybody talks about, but when the game is in the situation that's been in the last 2 games, I think everybody knows your best player is going to be in the game. And our thing is, you know, what we've got to do is we've got to execute in key situations, no matter what the game's been like, no matter that consistency piece. Yeah, depth helps with that, but at the end of the day, it's our job to do that. Coaches, players alike. So that's what we got to find a way to do more than anything.
What about your second and third level guys? You've got enough there? Could you use a few more?
We could. I mean, and we're going to have to. That's probably more than it is up front. You know, if I'm just looking at the numbers, linebacker and really corner to spear, you know, and mix and match in those pieces. That's probably more along the lines of where we've got to find it.
What did you see the last 2 games that you were able to keep things in check, you know, all game except the last drive when they drove the length, both of them were able to drive the length of the field?
I mean, you know, it's really same scenario, 2 different drives. You know, I'll give Oklahoma credit. You know, they come out and they were really, really patient, which they really didn't do in the middle of the game until they found out what we were doing to them. And they gave us a couple things that we really had to adjust on the fly. And then we committed a couple of critical errors. You know, the second down offsides was a huge one. That was really a self-inflicted gunshot. That led to a third down that in turn got them into field goal range. You know, that's not an excuse. It just that was how that one played out. You know, Saturday we get a pretty decent stop on first down, and then Texas Tech takes a shot, throws a 50-50 ball, and you know, why it's called a 50-50 ball, and we were on the wrong side of the 50. You know, and that's right at right at field goal range. We miss a check on the next down, they run the ball, and there you are, and you can't stop the clock. So, it's again, it's just what I said a minute ago. No matter what the situation is, those are key situations. In games like that, your margin for error is extremely small, and we don't have very much of it. So, if you're not doing what you need to do to execute that, then we got to find where that is. And again, it's like I opened with him. It's we work those situations a lot, and I think it's more than anything is consistency. And when I say lack of consistency, we have to work on our maturity. Understand that and Monday through Friday, those situations, what you learn from them in your meeting room is key. And so that's really what it goes back to.
On that 50-50 ball, and I didn't watch the tape, but weren't you close to getting home on that and getting Colby before he made that pass?
Yeah, really close. It's not a negative, but it's a simple little coaching point. And I'll tell you how small the margin for error. We have a twist set up for the 3 technique, which is Dante. And if Dante runs with his shoulder square to the line of scrimmage and sees the lane, and I'm talking this much, he probably gets home or affects the throw. And he's turned a little too much that way. It carries him 2 more steps outside. Then he turns, and he's that far from him. Okay, so yeah, right. And you look at that on tape, and you're in a normal game that if you probably played the way you should have expected to be back in the first quarter, then nobody ever finds that half a foot. So, that's what it is. And we were right there. I mean, they max protect us. They protected with 8 and ran a 3-man route. If be sitting here in a different story, if I blitz 9, I can't do that. I won't do that. So, but we were close, but that's football. You either make the play or you don't.
Where have you seen Sean Mahone grow the most this season, and where do you think he needs to improve?
I think going back, Sean has not. I'll start with the negative. I think Sean has to start games a little better. Once he gets into the game, I think that the overall, what I've seen from him is his physicality and his tackling. He's a really good leader for us on defense. But Maryland and Virginia Tech, I think, is early. Kind of a little sluggish, kind of hesitant on some things. But as he got going through the game, I watched a couple open field tackles he made the other day. That's probably where he's made the most improvement. I go back to 19 and 20, those same scenarios throughout the game. He didn't execute those plays as well, and that's probably the biggest improvement.
In your last thing here, in your opinion, 4 o'clock on Saturday, what are the boxes that need to be checked in your opinion for your defense to be successful?
Start fast and finish. That's it. And then if you want to put a third one on there, it's execute routine plays in key situations. We don't, I think you look at maturity, it's understanding that every single play can be the difference in a game when it's a tie ball game or a 3-point game. And so don't waste them. If it's first quarter, second down of the second series, the third first down of a drive, it never. And those plays, you can go back through film and point them out, whether it's offensive ball security and we could have ripped the ball out, or whether it's matching a route that much closer. And that's what we've got to understand, because we don't have that margin for error right now. So we got to find that. And so if those, really start fast, finish, execute in key situations.
Okay, thanks.